Thank you, Andrew. How's everyone doing tonight? Check 1, 2. Here we go. First of all, thanks for coming out. I know I got lots of family and friends here in the front row. How many people are nervous for me? Is anyone nervous for me? You know, when I told my friends that I was going to do some stand-up comedy, they're like, you know what? You're only funny when we're drunk. So I think this guy over here, Gary, I think he started drinking at noon. So he'll be the one laughing the hardest. How many people here are still interested in playoff hockey? Anyone? Anyone have in a hockey pool? Well, I'm excited because the St. Louis Blues, which I picked, are going on to the Western Final. I don't drink, okay? So I just want to take you back a couple years ago. I was at a house party. And I love watching people get progressively drunk. Man baby. Has anyone ever heard the term man baby? Does anyone know a man baby? A man baby could be a guy or a girl, doesn't matter. But they're diehard fans, right? And when their team is losing and they have done some excessive drinking, they just lose it, right? So I'm at a house party a couple years ago, and this is what I observed. A friend of mine who will remain nameless. Okay, his name is Todd. I was not hoping to be here tonight. But this is what I observed at the party, and then I went home and I wrote this story. So I just need a sound effect here. This is called Man Baby. So from the time I observed it to the time I went home, 2 hours, and this is what I came up with. It's the big game. You hope your team scores so much the Budweiser light burns out. The game is on, your friends are cheering, and then, I guess I should have queued it up a little more. You know what? That's not working. So, just pretend. When Man Baby shows up. Man Baby. He wants everyone to shut up during the game. He'll just ask you to leave if he thinks you're a jinx. Doesn't realize he has no bearing on the outcome of the game. Yeah, you feel bad for his girlfriend. Man Baby, ruining playoff hockey for far too long. But listen, the reason I'm up here, and I want to thank the Yuck Yucks for giving the opportunity for people to come up and share stories. In 10 days, my mother and father back in New Brunswick are going to be celebrating 50 years of marriage. Round of applause, 50 years, 5 decades together. So for me, their anniversary is coming up May 21st. I'm going to go home in July and celebrate with them. But what I wanted to do was pay tribute to my mother and father with a story where they put my life in great danger without even knowing it. So we're going to go back to 1998. I'm 24 years old, and I'm just days away from turning 25 with my twin brother. But I'm moving to BC. I'm not moving across the street. I'm not moving across town. I'm moving across the country. Okay? So we go to an urban gas station, the bus stop. It's January, it's dark, it's cold, and there's a lot of crying going on. I'm crying. My mother is crying. We're a very emotional family. It's a grand thing. You wouldn't understand. So I get on the bus. I say my goodbyes. And when I get on the bus, whenever I travel, and I've crisscrossed the country a couple times on a Greyhound, I always sit back seat roadside so I can see what's going on, okay? So we're 15, 20 minutes up the road. I'm leaving home for the first time. I'm on a bus going to Montreal. I want to stay with my aunt, and I'm going to fly to Vancouver, okay? 15, 20 minutes up the road, my eyes are finally dry. And all of a sudden, I look out the window, and this vehicle comes racing up next to the bus. High beams are on, the horn is honking, and I'm like, what's going on? I got my head up, and I look, and it's my mother and father. They're chasing down the bus. The bus pulls over, the lights come on, the door opens up, and a woman gets on the bus. The lights go out, the doors close, and we're back on the highway. No one has any idea. But I know in the back of my mind that my parents dropped someone off. We forgot someone. My parents, being the good people that they are, chased the bus down. So I'm sitting at the back and I look and I realize that this woman doesn't sit down. Instead, she makes her way slowly towards the back of the bus and she's talking to each individual passenger. And I'm like, what could she possibly be saying? A few minutes goes by and she gets back to me and she looks down at me and she goes, do you have a pen? I said, no, I don't have a pen. Why do you want a pen? Because I'm going to go stab the bus driver in the eye. So, you can imagine that's going to go south real quick. She beelined it back to the front of the bus, started spitting on the bus driver, demanded his badge number. Moments later, we were pulled over at a visitor information center that was closed for the season because it was January. We were met by 4 RCMP officers. And this woman is taken off the bus. She's taken off the bus. We don't know what happened to her after that. My parents have no idea about any of this until I get to Montreal the next morning and call her, because it's 98. There's no texting, there's no iPhones and whatnot. But I want to believe to this day, I still don't know the conversation that took place inside the car with this woman and my parents, but it must have been convincing enough that they felt it was okay to drop her off on the bus. Obviously, she didn't say, can you take me to the bus? I want to stab the bus driver for leaving me behind. So, I want to believe that the conversation went a little something like this. You know, they dropped her off, said their goodbyes, and they're back out on the highway, and 10, 15 minutes goes by, and there's silence just for them to digest what just happened, and then, Linda, we're good people. Yes, Elwood, yes we are. And they give each other a high five. And so my parents always looked out for me all my life, except for that one time in 1998. So Mom and Dad, happy anniversary. I can't wait to see you in July. Thank you, Young Yucks, for the opportunity. I had a great time. Enjoy the rest of the night.